trapped in melancholy with the wood ones of holly. Suggestions that a flicker rate to camouflage the folly. Attempted mental robbery, executed sloppily. The hypocrisy, this mockery, and walk the talk with me. Put the hands up to touch the akasha, cause you know deep down there's something bigger than your wallet.
What is up? Oh my god. I didn't even do my own normal intro. Sweet eternal balance of all that is good, true, and beautiful, friends. Whew, lots of imbalance going on right now in the world today. And lots of balance too, which is what we do. We keep that. We keep it going. Random thought while we're waiting for people to catch up and tune in. I heard that mass meditation that happened last weekend actually resulted, or at least was correlated with, the drastic increase in the Schumann resonance, which is the resonance of the earth, and it vibrates at a very specific rate. And so that's pretty fucking cool. That's some pretty good evidence. I mean, we have way better evidence than that is more than just correlated, that, you know, our intentions and our focus manifests in the real world. But I really love seeing things like that when you have these mass meditations. And I know some people have some qualms about whether or not they should participate in these types of things because you don't know who's really like organizing them or what they're doing with the energy of everyone. But when I do participate, I do it on my own sort of channels, you know, like I make it clear to myself and to everything that I'm doing this as just a pure intention from myself. So I don't necessarily send it to be like added in with the other people meditating or like given to someone directing it. And I know that the universe takes all that shit and it fucking does with it what it wants. So I don't need to direct it beyond that pure intention and visualization. So random thought about the mass meditations, and I hope they keep coming. And just keep in mind that you don't need a mass meditation to be organized for you to be practicing that same level of visualization and intention manifestation that you're sending out into the world. So you can do that anytime, all day, every day. You are doing it all day, every day, whether you like it or not. So you can be intentional about it much more often than maybe you already are. And so just consider that. And so we are going to get deep into humanity not being a virus today, but I'm going to say what's up to Raleigh Dangler, the man himself, all over DLive and YouTube. Nice to see you. We've got Shell 2020, what's up on DLive. We have Dire Straits, I love it, on YouTube. What's up? We've got Jeff Green. Howdy, Jeff. We've got Chris Monet, knowing already that humanity is not a virus. We've got Maria. I'm sorry, it's Maria. I know I always say it wrong because the J, but what's up, Maria? And we've got more people than that. What's up, Sue? Sue Finelli is in the house on YouTube. If you are watching on Facebook, I don't see your comments until afterwards, which is totally fine, but just so you know, I can't interact with you from there. If you want me to see what you say and interact with me, then you go to YouTube or DLive and I see those comments, just not Facebook. So there's also more people there usually that you can check in with and say what's up to, and there's some fun conversation that happens, so check it out. All right, let's get started. Nope, I did that wrong. Just bear with me as I'm rearranging my screens and stuff. Oh god. Alright, there we go. Hopefully that's good. Let me know if there's any issues with the way I just arranged the screen. But otherwise, let's do this. I first want to remind people that, of course, you can support me on Subscribestar. It's a perfect platform. They take very, very little to none of the amount that you subscribe at. And there's even a $1 level. If every single person that listens to my show does a $1 level, then the world would be a beautiful place. So consider doing it at least at the $1 level if you've ever found any value in Rogue Ways, or higher if you would like some of the other perks that come with the other levels. Just go check those out. Right now, for 2 more days, we still have this giveaway going, which are these. I'm holding them and they're on the screen. These God, why do I forget the name of them every time? Coasters. They're things that cups sit on. Coasters for you. You can see detailed images of them here. They're fresh flowers that were pressed into these. They're gorgeous. And there's 5 of them. That's a $50 value, and that is free to you, or at least it will be when you win You subscribe at any of these levels, you get an entry to win. You get 7 entries at Rogue Roots level, you get 22 at the Rogue Heart level, and you get 55 at the Rogue Soul level. Entries, that is. So depending on which level you subscribe at, that's how many entries you get. So your chances go up the higher level you subscribe. So please support me at Rogueways on Subscribestar. That is the best way to do it. You can also go to rogueways.org or CoreySharman.com. This is my site that I've had for, Jesus, I don't know, a decade. It crashed for a year or two when someone stole it from me, which is a long story, but it is back again and better than ever. You can see all kinds of shit that I write, sometimes stuff that other people write. I've guest authors sometimes. You can see the link to Subscribestar there. You can find all the old audio files for Rogueways until it switched to SoundCloud, which is where you can go to listen if you'd rather do that. And it's what your podcast app draws from. If you are on a podcast app, you can also find Rogueways there. You can check out the books that I have written so far, except for one that is not quite ready for public consumption yet. Sine Curve of Aeons is my novel. If you want to get it cheaper than you can get it from Amazon, you will PayPal me $15. That'll save you shipping and tax, and I will ship it anywhere in the United States for you. And you can find the PayPal link here on the Tarot and Guidance tab. There's a couple links on here, but otherwise it's paypal.me/CoreySharman. That's another way to support me if you want to donate to the show, or buy the book, or buy a tarot reading, which you can read about here. And finally, you can go to the shop tab and find all kinds of fun stuff, including this mug that I'm holding right here, and I'm usually holding on most of these shows. You can get classes and tarot readings from me. You can get guidance sessions if you would like some one-on-one sort of help in your life in any realm. Nothing too big or small for us to conquer. Logic tickets for the event this summer that will be in Philadelphia if you would like to come meet up with some radical peeps, and of course the gear that you can get. So all of those things are available to you, and thank you, Raleigh Dangler, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. That is another source of supporting me, and if you imagine that I have come out anything but even so far, you are wrong. I do not make money off this show, although I would love to. And so far I've had enough to pay for my site and the monthly subscriptions I have to pay for hosting and whatnot. And that's about it. So yeah, enough about me. We'll get to the good shit. Let's see if anyone else has shown up and said what's up in the chat. Looks like all my peeps. We got more people watching, but not more people interacting, which is fine. Some people like to be private, and that's super good. All right, so here's what we're talking about. People have seemed to change recently. I don't know if you have noticed. What's up, Michael? Good to see you here. I've noticed though, and I don't know if it's like some sort of mind control that's been more perfected. You know, there's a lot of various levels of EMF radiation going on around us, and we've seen patents of pretty crazy shit, and we know that they can affect our mood and our thoughts and all kinds of things with these waves. So I don't know if it's that, but I definitely have noticed that people seem to have changed, and it's been pretty noticeable for me. It's definitely been since maybe 2008 or so. It's hard to say, but it's definitely been something I've noticed. People very close to me have once questioned much of the world and sort of knew who our common enemies were, and then at some point sort of seemed to change, and it's been ingenious. But one thing that sort of makes me think that it might be some more advanced level of sort of EMF, mind control, or what mood control, or whatever you want to call it, is the toilet paper thing. Because that was fucking weird. And I can imagine like, I even said maybe that earworm of Baby Shark song that everybody had going on in their heads for a long time. Maybe like something got attached to that and sort of got sent to the subsonic level, or something like that could happen. I can imagine. Anyway, something happened that made everybody think that fucking toilet paper was like a desperate need, and that we like had to buy all the toilet paper in the fucking world or we were gonna die, which is crazy. In any scenario, you wouldn't want toilet paper more than anything else. You'd want food and water more than anything else. So it's very, very fascinating. And in addition to that, we also had the sudden appearance of Cuomo on the scene. And obviously he's been around, talking about the politician one, not the Mockingbird media one, but they're both weirdos. But anyways, the politician one, he just appeared on everybody's radar one day, and that was very weird. And people who don't necessarily even subscribe, or spend a lot of time in mainstream media, all of a sudden were like promoting Cuomo. And it seriously was in the space of a day. And I was like, like, how did that happen? Like, just everybody all of a sudden was like, Cuomo exists, and it could have been anyone, but it was him. So that was pretty weird. And honestly, the same shit is happening with this viral outbreak, allegedly, that people suddenly were like, social distancing, all within a day. I went from never having heard that term in my life to hearing it from 62 different sources in one day. So, media saturation is heavy, and it could be that, and maybe that's all there is to it. But whatever it is, people seem a lot more easily controlled in the past handful of years of my life than they ever had before that, to me. Just purely anecdotal. So whatever that mechanism is that has been causing that change, I'm not sure. But like I said, people used to seem to understand that government and corporations didn't have their best interests in mind. Just kind of around the board, that people, I didn't know very many people who would have expected the government or corporations to have their interests at heart at all. And then all of a sudden people did, and it manifested a lot in this sort of duality and psychosis surrounding Donald Trump. It's been amazing to watch from a more objective sort of point of view. And if you're a fan of the show, I think you know that I don't buy into the false dichotomy of Republican and Democrat. I think they're all evil, and I always have. And so it was fascinating to me to not only see this sort of orange man bad obsession, but also this Obama good. People fucking love the guy. And it was insanity. And I think it started on sort of white guilt. You have to like him because his skin is almost sort of not white, which is ridiculous and racist, actually. I don't know, but it just sort of picked up steam, and everybody that used to question the government and used to know the government was not on their side suddenly loved Obama. They fucking loved him. I know people who literally have portraits of him and his family on their fridge as though he's their friend. As though he's not a pedophile, what do we call him, pedivore, or whatever else. It's worse. I mean, he, we'll go into the bad things he's done, but this is what I was thinking, is this hatred of Trump is sort of like the 2 minutes hate from 1984. We got all of this just adoration of Obama and how fucking wonderful he is. Give him a fucking Nobel Peace Prize because he bombed the shit out of brown people. That makes sense. We just love him. We love him without question. And then we fucking hate Trump. We hate him. Because we have bitches, we still have the part of us that knows that shit is not as good as it should be, and that things aren't good. And so just like in the book, I think they give us Trump as this just like Emmanuel Goldstein, just someone to hate. We all get to sit here like this and rap to him and just push our hatred and frustration into the screen. Because Orange Man is so bad. It's almost cathartic. Shout out his name. This is what it reminds me of. That's enough of that. But, it's people are so fucking obsessed with Trump that this is what I think of as there's just this outlet for us to unleash our hatred of government and our own oppression. Because otherwise we would have had it for this guy too. I mean, seriously, is he black? I guess he is, whatever. It doesn't even matter, but I mean, this guy violated the Constitution left and right. This guy bombed the fuck out of brown people. This guy jailed more journalists than any other fucking president ever. Nobody gave a fuck. Because he talked pretty. Which is it's the fucking epitome of racism. It's oh, look at the black man talking pretty. That's super racist. But people thought they were not racist because they liked him. It was so well played. Anyway, you can go through, this is just one site of 10 million that list a billion of his sins that no one cared about. No one cared about it because we were under this spell of loving this man who talked pretty and hating the orange man. Orange man is so bad, right? We have to love the people who, like Obama, who kill and rape and torture and whatever. However if you can fucking ignore that, I guess that's you. And you just have to hate orange man. Yeah, Obama. I mean, I don't know. And you can't even convince people. I don't know why I'm scrolling through this. But like, you could show all these things to people and they'll still love Obama. Nothing can change that, and nothing can change their hatred for Orange Man. I mean, like, nothing. You can talk to people, you can tell people so many really awesome things that Trump has done. Truly, really good things that he's done. And they won't give a fuck. In fact, they'll turn it into a negative. They'll be like, yeah, but he only did that because, like, what? I mean, it was good either way, right? Nope, doesn't matter. Orange Man bad. Orange Man's so bad. It gets tiring. But yeah, I mean, people have learned now to love the system so much that they're like defending it, right? It's like they're defending it from the Orange Man. It's like they've given us this guy to both unleash our hatred on, but also to like trigger people to defend the system that's broken, you know, and to fight for it and to like love it fervently. And they'll like get behind people like they never have before. You know, like I remember a time in my life where I knew so many governors' names because people are talking about them more than they ever have. Because there's people, it's like they're celebrating the system. It's weird. I don't know. And now we're seeing the celebration too that you know, of this police state that's sort of rolling out with the virus, you know, and people are like loving it. They're like calling the fucking cops on each other. This is from a guy I know on Facebook who used to be my teacher, and he also is one of the many people who used to understand that we were kind of all in it together against the sort of elites that run the world, and that the system was very broken. And now he's become someone who hates liberty rebellions because the virus is so bad and so scary that we should, you know, fucking kill the people who are trying to keep our liberties. I mean, they're trying to keep our fucking freedoms. And this person, it's just, you can't understand this guy who I'm showing you, like, what he used to be like and how he is now, and just how very, very different these two points of view are. But he is attacking liberty movements to support the government who is raping all of us of our freedom. It's just fascinating to me. This whole thing is fascinating. I said fascinating, not vaccinating. But, you know, this is how you get your pats and your belly rubs on the head of, like, you've done a good job. You're turning in your friends and you're fighting against liberty. Good job. And, like, people are, like, sucking this up. It's like, I've just never seen so many people who used to be sensible just, like, fucking suck the dick of the government, like, hard. It's disturbing. We get money now for turning people in, right? This isn't even the one that you guys probably heard about, but, oh yeah, it's Los Angeles, sorry. This Los Angeles mayor is saying, you know, they're going to give people money if they fucking tell on their friends who are leaving their house or whatever the fuck. It's just insane. So if you're a good dog and you're a good little slave and you want to get your little pat on the shoulder and little fucking snack thrown to you, then you tell on your friends who want to go to a park. I'm not fucking kidding you. I went to the park today and there was fucking police tape wrapped around the benches, the picnic benches, the regular benches, and the picnic tables. You're not allowed to not go to... No one's even saying you can't go to parks. But when you go to the park, you can't fucking sit at a table for some reason? Like, that's gonna give people COVID or whatever the fuck? Like, it's mind-blowing. It's fucking mind-blowing. And it's not... It doesn't even make sense. You can go sit on a bench and not be infecting yourself or anyone else. You can go have a picnic and not be infecting yourself or anyone else. They're saying even, like, you can gather more than fucking, as long as it's not more than 10 in most places or whatever. So, like, how many people can fit at a picnic table? Like, 4? Who do you go to picnics with? Your fucking family. They already all have it if you have it. Like, it's so dumb. It doesn't even make sense. But this is how we're fucking doing it. It's not about sense. It's about making people afraid and making people fucking do what the government says. I'm just saying, someone who's a rogue warrior ripped that police tape off and threw it in the garbage, and somebody who's a rogue warrior plans to go do that all over the city tomorrow, all day long. I'm going to start a hashtag about it, and it's going to be, I forgot, but it's something like free from fear or something like that. So, you know, if you want to be a rogue warrior, you too can go rip down police tape that's on fucking gazebos and shit. It's retarded. It's ridiculous. So I encourage everyone, I encourage everyone to do what's within their, you know, ability and morals. That's what I do. And now we're all going to like suck the government's dick and take this vaccine, which isn't even, it doesn't even make sense. By then, most people will have been exposed to it. There was a German study that came out today or recently that showed that most Germans had the fucking antibodies and had already been exposed to coronavirus and had lived through it. But we still, for some reason, need a vaccine. And there's people all over, like Canada just said today, they won't return to normal until people get their vaccines. Right? And we had the same thing coming out all the time. They're like, well, we might be in this lockdown for 18 months. Like, what? Who said fucking 18 months? How? How did you just come up with that number? Oh, you like must have already had this as a plan, because it has no basis in logic. Like, at all. It's not logical. It's not about logic. It's not about fucking keeping you safe, or else you would have done what Germany did and just fucking found out that everybody already has the fucking antibodies and is fine, and just move on with your fucking life. But remember, because we've had this shutdown, you know, we're actually saving the whole planet. That's what they're telling us, right? We're saving the whole fucking planet by dying. This is the undercurrent that worries me the most in this whole thing, is this humanity is a virus thing, you know? This is like, somebody thinks this is beautiful, this thing that's on the screen right now. They think that this is beautiful. It says that. I don't know who wrote this, but it's beautiful. And then they go through how we fell asleep in one world and woke up in another. Disney's closed. Paris is closed. New York's closed. Hugs and kisses are weapons. No, they're not. They're not fucking weapons. You're retarded if you think that. There's something wrong with you. You're broken. They broke you. You need to get fixed. You could fix yourself through just, like, clarifying fucking actual, like, reality. And, like, not just watching the fucking media all day and being obsessed with Donald Trump. Suddenly you realize that power and beauty and money are worthless. Well, hopefully most of us knew that to begin with. It's pretty much just the media that fucking promotes that, and of all the elites. Like, normal people don't think that shit. The world continues. It's life, and it's beautiful. It only puts humans in cages, which is good, is what you're supposed to take from that. Putting humans in cages is good, apparently. And it's sending this message: you're not necessary. The air, earth, water, and sky without you are fine. When you come back, remember that you're my guests, not my masters. I fucking can't believe that this is where we're at, that people are, like, promoting this shit to each other on Facebook. They're like, hey, everyone, humans are the worst. Let's kill everything. Let's kill ourselves. Let's fucking die. You're not necessary. Whew. It really gets me going, guys. It's fucking ridiculous. You're not unnecessary. You're absolutely necessary. In fact, the world will continue without us, but the world will also continue with us. Fucking get over your bullshit. You know? Like, there's this shit. The goats are back in this Welsh seaside town. Look at how bad humans are, that the goats couldn't come into the city before now. And now they're in the city. Look at all the fucking goats. Humans are so bad. Goats are so good. I don't know what just happened. I was supposed to play the video. But look, the goats. Isn't that great? Shouldn't we all just fucking kill ourselves so goats can be in cities? I mean, that's like the fucking undercurrent. Like, look at the goats are really destructive, by the way. I love them, but something real weird just happened with my sound. Like, seriously, I can hear someone else. I seriously think my NSA agent just, like, hopped on for a second. I'm not joking. I could, like, hear someone else. There's no reason why that should have happened. I'm kind of freaked out. What's his name? Do you guys remember? It wasn't Kevin. That was Steve's. We had a different name, but I forget. I think it was Chad. Chad just fucking jumped on. I swear to God. I hope you guys heard it. It was weird. Anyway, goats are pretty destructive. I love them to death. I think goats should exist in the world and be plentiful. I just like they're in here trampling people's yards and killing trees. That's what they do. So anyway, the goats are bad. We're supposed to kill ourselves so goats can be here. Right? Kill yourself for goats. Kill yourself because the waters are flowing through the canals and Venice clear and the dolphins and swans returned or whatever, right? Like, oh, yay, the fucking fish and the dolphins are bad. It's cool. It's rad. I love fish and dolphins. I wish they were always in these canals. When they're not here, they're somewhere else, though. I'm not saying we don't hurt the environment. I'm not saying we can't do better. I'm saying, like, this undercurrent is meant to highlight that when humans are dead, everything will be okay. Whoops. More. It just keeps coming. Every day there's more. I can get this shit off of me. Okay. That we can see the Himalayas now for the first time. And there's, like, a deeper level to this one because the Himalayas are obviously the fucking like the seat of the soul of the world or whatever. This is like, you know, the holy of holies is the Himalayas. This is where all the sacred wisdom comes from and whatever. So like the fact that those are finally like visible after decades and decades because the pollution is clear, we're really supposed to resonate with this one. We're supposed to say, wow, we are really evil. We should just die. We're a virus on the earth. That's what we're supposed to fucking say to ourselves right now when we look at this shit. That's the undercurrent. That's the phrasing of it is like, like we saw before, humans aren't necessary. You're not necessary. You should just die. I mean, what a fucking evil message. It's not bad to celebrate clean air. I like celebrate it. But to like frame it in this, like, this is what happens when humans are around. And this is what happens when humans are forcefully raped of their freedoms and like not allowed to function anymore and massive amounts of people are going to die from economic downturn. But that's great because the sky is clear. Again, we could clean the sky without that. We could do that. If we valued it, we would. And we can. It doesn't take everybody dying to do this, but we saw already this is what they want us to feel like the world is. Look at this little fucking thing down here that's like telling me how many people are dead in the corner. I don't even... That's just like a thing now. Oh my god. Go away. Anyway. The dolphins return to Italy. Blah, blah, blah. The impact of coronavirus isolation says we need to rethink our ways. I mean, that's, again, not bad. We should rethink our ways, right? We should do things as cleanly and as best we can for the planet without killing everyone and telling everyone they're worthless. We can do both. The two are not mutually exclusive. We have this problem as a society that we focus on like it's either this or this, and it's called concrete operationalism, and it's the stage of development that kids go through. Supposedly, they're supposed to stop doing that somewhere in their teen years or so. Most people, you will find, never get out of it. Most people are stuck in that false dichotomy, that dualistic illusion that it can either be this or that, but never both. That's false. It's fucked up. It's illogical, but we're stuck there. A lot of people are stuck there. So it's not true that you have to either have everyone die or have the fucking dolphins. But it turns out none of that shit is real anyway. None of that shit was real. So this is all just fucking programming that's coming out. Just to fucking tell us to kill ourselves and to hate ourselves and to feel like a scourge on the earth and to like realize how evil and dirty we are. It's not even fucking real. I just fucking found this when I went looking for all these things to show you guys today. I was like, wait, what? It's not even real. National Geographic apparently has been trying to tell everyone, like, dude, most of these examples aren't actually real, and no one's paying attention because it's working, because everyone is fucking caught up in this, like, humans are bad. Humans aren't bad, just some of us, and just the powerful ones, just the ones that are enough to control the fucking world. Over here for you for a second. I'm going to take a pause in this moment of realizing that they're programming us to think that we're evil and bad, and really we're not. And I'm going to say what's up to people. Shell Owens is here. They are still spraying over our heads. A lot of people have said they've paused or there's less where they're at. Maybe that's true regionally in some places, but it's definitely not true in general. They're still spraying the fucking skies. Austin Beach, what's up? You made it. Gnosis Gnome 7 is here. We are the virus, Gnosis Gnome 7 says, just not in the way they're saying it. We're the virus to them. I like that. Let's be a virus in that way, and none of the ways they're trying to program us to be. My volume is lower now. Oh, can you guys hear me okay at this moment, presently? I will wait for your response. Thank you, Trey Clark. Trey Clark is in the house. Thank you for the super chat. I love it. Thank you, thank you. Part-time person. Nice to see you here. Yes, let's do that. Part-time has the perfect plan. We'll make 7 billion vaccines and we'll give every single one of them to Bill Gates. And we'll say, hey, there's no problem, right? They're not dangerous. BR Endo, what's up? Is it Good Friday today? Maybe the start of some interesting fucking spells they've got going on. Who knows? I know Easter has been really, really highlighted this year, so it'll be interesting to see what happens between now and Sunday and Monday. What's up, DS? Nice to see you. All right, let's see. Is my volume muffled? Muffled? I don't even know if I can turn it up. I will just talk really, really loud. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I think Chad came in and fucked with my fucking volume. So let me see if I can actually... Now it feels really loud to me. You tell me if that changed anything at all. It may not have changed anything, but... Alan. What's up, Alan? Mahadharmapala. I said it. Okay, I'm gonna go with this level of sound. So, you're supposed to think that you are killing the planet and that the planet is getting better and better now that you are dying. Hate yourself and die. But you're supposed to ignore that shit's being intentionally ruined while we're sort of asleep, like that Northern California dairy farmers are dumping milk.
On a dairy in Galt, Arlen Van Groningen's 1,250 cows continue to produce milk. In this video shot by the third-generation dairyman, the majority is sold for butter and powder. So far, he's escaped the coronavirus economic fallout.
We haven't had to do that, and as far as I know, our co-op has none of its members have had to dump milk.
But other local dairies are starting to dump. According to the United Western Dairies, representing 860 dairies across California, about 10% is getting dumped.
It is happening. It's not a ton right now.
So milk's being dumped. There's a lot about the milk being dumped in various places. Milk and meat are being just fucking thrown away. They're saying it's because people aren't going to places like Disney World and like these things that are shut down, but people eat the same amount of food whether they're like out at fucking Disneyland or home. So really what they're saying is they're refusing to deliver it to certain places and instead they're forcing people to dump it. That's really all they're saying. Nothing has changed in our consumption abilities and our consumption desires. Just where we're getting things has changed pretty significantly, but even there, like, it's not hard to redirect the food to stores. And if you were smart and you paid a government, I don't know, billions of fucking dollars in taxes every year, you'd think that they would like think about that, and they're the ones forcing you to stay home, and they'd fucking arrange shit, because why the fuck else are we paying all these motherfuckers? But no, instead we're gonna let thousands of acres of fruits and veggies rot in Florida. There was a picture.
Good evening,
Anyways, I don't know where the picture went. We only have the milk apparently, but it's pretty disturbing to see this much food rotting and being thrown away, especially in the midst of this horrifying level of unemployment that we've got. You know, people are going to want the food, and this GIF is really neat because it shows lots of huge peaks and troughs in unemployment requests over decades and decades of data, and you think like, wow, that's pretty fucking crazy, and then it gets to the end, and like we just saw when we first got to this, it makes the rest of the graph look almost flat, how many we have now. Right? That's the number of jobless, and we're not even done. We're just starting to count. But let's throw away food by all means, right? Let's fucking destroy. We'll see, like, we're supposedly the problem, but like milk's, oh, here's the milk being dumped. Again, if you want to watch it happen, it's pretty Again, we've seen this all throughout history. There's never actually fucking famines. There's just people destroying the supply chains and people destroying the supply. That's all that ever happens. It's not like we suddenly fucking forget how to create food for ourselves. We just are stopped from getting it to the people who need it. So in the midst of all of this, we're supposed to think that we're the fucking horrible ones and we're ruining the planet when we're actually being forced to be destructive and wasteful for no fucking reason at all. I mean, it's like being organized. People are getting these letters that are telling them you need to start dumping your milk. I'm sure there's some sort of fucking explanation for why that makes sense. It just doesn't actually make sense. Quit farming, they're being told. Don't even make food anymore. We don't need food. I mean, like, if their plans on the Georgia Guidestones and fucking reduction of population work, we won't need all that food, so I guess they're just getting ready. They're being incentivized to quit for good. That's not just a fucking coronavirus problem. Why are you encouraging farmers to quit for good? Apparently because you want to cause mass fucking famine, which kills people, which will kill more people than the fucking virus ever could. It's fucking crazy. Okay? And you're supposed to think that this is your fault and that this is like divine retribution for how horrible you've been to the planet. It's fucked up. And you know what's happening is fucking people are killing themselves. Oh wow. What a surprise. That's what fucking happens when you make people be alone and terrified for weeks on end. I am like really fucking mad about it because everyone's like, oh no, someone over 70 might die. Well, fucking mass people are gonna die in the meantime. And I'm supposed to think that I'm the problem on the earth? No, humanity is not a fucking virus. You're the fucking virus, you parasite bitches. What's up, Steve Mercer? And Diverse City. And Benjamin Balderson's in the house. We have Pearl B. McCoy. We got lots of peeps here. What's up, guys? What's up? It is good to see you. Yeah, we can't have food. Let's dump it. You're a fucking virus on the planet, so let's just shut down all the fucking food supplies, because that makes sense somehow. It's not just suicides, it's all types of mental health are on the rise, obviously, as it would be if you just suddenly decide like, oh, the same number of fucking people dying as it happens every year is a huge problem, we need to ruin the fucking economy and everybody stay in your house 24 hours a day, rat on your neighbors. It's like this climate of fear is overwhelming. I feel like I'm a pretty balanced person and it like gets to me sometimes and I have to catch myself and be like, whoa, dude, calm down. Like, everything's fine, actually. When you look around the world, like, everything's fine. Outside, here, with all the people I love, like, luckily. But that's not how it feels to people, especially if you're already in a place of instability or unsureness or disconnection, and all this shit is just ramping you up. I am very concerned, said one U.S. official. Yeah, we should all be really concerned. Humanity is not a virus, but this fucking planned pandemic and intentional destruction of the economy is definitely a virus. It's killing a lot of people. It's going to kill way more before it's over, most likely. You're going to have massive depression and suicides. And then people got mad at him for saying that because, again, we're like, Orange Man bad. Everything he does is fucking horrible. Whether it makes sense or is good or not, we're still going to attack it. It's madness. And we're traumatizing all our fucking children. Again, I'm not the fucking virus. My children wouldn't be traumatized if it weren't for you motherfuckers. I don't have kids, by the way, but I'm a teacher and I call them all my kids, so. And they're like, oh, the kids are getting traumatized from this. Yeah, they're getting traumatized from this. You're calling it a quarantine. You're calling it a forced fucking shelter and home or whatever. You have all these scary ass terms for it. It's on the news 24 hours a day. Even if they somehow were away from media, which is impossible, they'd be seeing how everyone's scared. It's like kids are sensitive little fucking empaths. They're absorbing all of this. What can we do? You can't shut off the media, no. I mean, thank God there are some adults who understood this to begin with and intentionally just like were open with their kids and were like, look, you're going to see a lot of people freaking out, but we're okay. We're going to be okay. And just we're honest with them. This is like the best thing you can ever do with kids. Again, we're not the fucking virus. The people creating all this fear and media bullshit are the fucking virus. That's what's killing people and traumatizing our kids. Right? And you're supposed to ignore all this. You're supposed to ignore all of these things and just go with the fear and the understanding that you are a virus and a scourge on the earth. Right? Ignore your heart telling you that this shit is actually really wrong. I never put myself back in the other corner. Ignore your heart and just fucking keep going forward with this and keep telling yourself that you're the problem on the planet. Your existence itself is a plague on the planet. Ignore your heart. Well, we all know better. We listen to our heart, and that's why we fucking see through all their bullshit. This is interesting. You're not a virus, right? We know that, because for thousands of fucking years, humans have been on the planet, and it's only grown in numbers, and for most of that time, we were fine, except we've been over these time spans that you're seeing on the screen here, fucking purposely, like, shuttled into certain ways of being and interacting with each other. We've had the same, allegedly, I think, groups of people organizing this and diverting history into the channels they want it to flow through all throughout time, forever. You know? We could watch this forever, and the whole time they'd be the ones who were organizing things and arranging things to their liking. And there's more and more and more people. But, well, who knows what would have happened if we were left to our own devices and there were not just secret societies of elite, fucking psychopathic, greedy motherfuckers that are in control all the time. Who knows? But this is an intentionally set up system. It wasn't organic or natural. When people say, look at human nature, look, we can see what human nature, we don't fucking know what human nature is. We have never been just free to find out. We've always been in these little fucking boxes they made for us. The way we live today is the way that they want us to live. It's not natural. It's not natural for people to be this fucking dense on top of one another, and we would never have done it normally because it doesn't make sense. It's not clean, it's not happy, it's not efficient. There's nothing good about it. We would have fucking spread out more. Who knows where and who knows why, but we wouldn't have like rushed into these fucking economic centers if the economy weren't manipulated by greedy bastards. We have examples of other ways that cities can be, but that's not good for slavery, so that's not the way fucking cities are, right? But we've never been allowed to see how we might fucking thrive and live in other settings because that wasn't what our slave masters wanted, right? And we have this really fucking false culture, like rites of passage used to be an intimate part of our culture and our community, and it is very, very essential for human psyches to have rites of passage and to be connected with their communities in these ways. And we've ripped them all out, and it's intentional. Again, we're not a virus. We're just being fucking organized in a way that doesn't make any sense to us. And it causes us to fucking go along with shit that doesn't make any sense, like not having rites of passages. I mean, it says here on this fucking stupid graphic I found that getting your driver's license is a rite of passage. Well, it's barely. It's like technically a thing you do to like become in another like category of person, but it's not what a rite of passage is actually supposed to be, which is supposed to be you facing something pretty fucking challenging and difficult and overcoming it with your community's support and help and celebration when you're done. And that's not what we have. We don't have any examples of that in our society at all. We have really, really fucking paltry, sad travesties of rites of passage. And that's not normal. Our society has been engineered to be that way for a reason. We're not naturally this fucking horrible. This is the way it's been created. We're not made to live outside of community, but we've been engineered to have less and less of it in our lives. We used to naturally form all kinds of community organizations and take care of each other, and we had like a billion ways to connect with other people. It was like a common pastime most days of the week that you would go join in a community activity of some kind, not in the like creepy fucking sort of communist like propaganda sort of way, but in like a natural like, hey, why wouldn't I be connected with my community and like go fucking bowling or like have a fucking bake off or whatever the fuck and like take care of each other and be in connection with each other. And now we have almost nothing. And it's not normal. And it's been engineered this way. And it's part of the reason why you might be convinced you're a virus. But if you remember back to the time when we weren't programmed like that or as deeply, it was a lot more beautiful. A lot less viral or infectious or whatever you want to call it that they've created us into being. We're not meant to live meaninglessly, but we do now. It would have been in like a tribal or just normal community that people would have meaningful roles in the group. To fulfill those roles would be something that made you feel good. And again, you'd be in connection with that role in some way in your community. And even if it was a small role, it would feel fulfilling. And now we've got people whose job it is to fucking hold a sign on the street and dance, and that's not meaningful. This is like the majority of us don't have meaningful ways of being connected with others and providing a role to our community, and so it fucks us up. Like, we're fucked up. Our psychology is fucked up, and it's been intentionally manipulated to be fucked up in these ways. That's right. Bring back the bake-offs. Bring back the people who have specific roles in their community. You know, and this is why it bothers me when people are like, everyone's fucking dumb and bad. And it's like, no, they're not. They've been conditioned and programmed and fucking brought into being in those ways. That's not normal or natural, and it's not their fault. Sadly. We're not made to be each other's enemies as much as we are told that we are each other's enemies. It always is coming from the top. They're always making us fight each other. We are always doing it for reasons that don't actually serve us. Almost always. I'm sure there's some examples that aren't. But, you know, like, over time, you look at all the wars, what were they for? They were for fucking... that fucking asshole, what's his name? Got shot in the face or whatever. Dick Cheney. Didn't Dick Cheney get shot in the face? I laugh at his suffering. Whatever, he gets rich, right? Off of fucking going to Iraq and fighting brown people or whatever. Like, it's never for our own benefit. We are not each other's enemies. We are not naturally enemies of each other. We are naturally much different from that. And we see it in all kinds of ways, right? Like, we've heard countless times that soldiers failed to fire their weapons at all, or intentionally, seemingly subconsciously, didn't hit their enemies in World War II and Vietnam. We see that people actually, even people who are trained to kill, shy away from killing each other. No, humanity is not a virus. Humanity is a beautiful fucking thing that manages to get through even the most harshest of fucking training and programming. For fuck's sake. That's humanity, as far as I'm concerned. What survives after all of the attempts to squash it? And so who is the fucking virus? You're made to think that you pollute the whole fucking world and that your behavior somehow is killing the earth. But who has polluted the world the most? The fucking military. The same exact people who are conditioning us to kill each other for someone else's benefit. It's like fucking retarded. You want to like measure pollution and damage. Normal people don't do shit. But we're supposed to like fucking not use reusable bags or whatever the fuck is going. Like, sure, don't. I'm not saying don't. It'd be great if you didn't. Who cares though? Because the real problem is much, much bigger. We're not even gonna fucking scratch the surface if all we're focusing on is like getting a solar panel on our roof and like using a bag more than once. It'll help. It'll be cool. If everyone did it, it'd be even more powerful, obviously, but like, that's not the real problem. The problem is the whole fucking system, which is not created by us. We weren't the ones who designed it, and we didn't implement it. Right? And the number one fucking horror in the world is planned obsolescence, and it's from greed, and it's built into the system. It's on purpose. They intentionally make your products so that they will fail, so that you have to make more. We all know it. We all know that the updates on our phones fuck them up and make us want new ones. It's fucked up. It's so wasteful. And you're gonna tell me that I'm the virus? I wouldn't buy a new phone ever if I didn't have to. I'd keep the same phone my whole fucking life. Like, I think most people would. But we're trained into it, and we're forced into it through planned obsolescence. All of our products, it's not just tech. This article is about tech, but planned obsolescence is built into everything, including light bulbs. So you're gonna tell me I'm a virus on the fucking planet, and this is your bullshit. This is the fucking production. This is our economy. It's built on this shit. And no, we're not the fucking virus. We're supposed to ignore all of this. You are not the fucking virus. You, in fact, do shit like this. This is what humanity does. In perfect connection with your fucking resources and your environment. I love how the cows will like look at the camera guy and be like, yeah, but what are you doing over there, motherfucker? You're not singing. But then they slowly come closer anyway. Because she's fucking beautiful. Because humanity is beautiful. And humanity does not naturally destroy their environment. Humanity naturally lives in fucking harmony with their environment. Because we're not stupid and we don't fucking shit where we eat on purpose. Unless we're forced into it. Right? They literally make a science out of trying to trick us out of that shit. They literally study how to break us down and make us turn on each other and on the biological systems around us. They have to, because we wouldn't naturally do it. Because if we were left to our own devices, we would sing to cows. Right? They have to force us into buying all this shit by convincing us that we suck. No, we're not the virus. You're the fucking virus. You have to try this hard. Their advertising has to literally, like, hijack my natural systems of being in order to convince me to buy a bunch of shit that ruins the fucking world. You're the fucking virus. Right? You're made to actually live happily with yourself until someone convinces you you're not happy. This is humanity, if anything. Again, it's what's left when they are done, when you're done fucking seeing like how much thousands of years of this shit can fucking try to break you down, and you can still resist their fucking sciences of how to make you buy shit, make you kill people, and make you stop singing to cows in the woods, you know? It's like fucked up. Right? You're the type of person, humanity is the type of people who are like, oh, if we are having negative impact, let's try to live off grid then. Let's try to do this shit. And they're the fucking virus that says, no, it's illegal. We're going to make it illegal for you to live off grid. We're going to make it illegal, period. If you're making it illegal for me to live, period, like, you're fucked up. You're a virus, not me. I'm not what's ruining the world. But can you convince the people writing about how beautiful it is that you, like, that Disney is closed? And the world is coming back to life now that we're dying? No, you might not be able to. I'm not sure. Say what's up to people in the chat. What's up, Chrissy? What's up, Ty Scott? Hearing people try to justify planned obsolescence would be amazing. I think people like think I'm really like love and light and nice, so I have a hard time putting up with people's bullshit when it comes out. I'm really, really nice and supportive in all ways until people try to confront me with some fucking bullshit. But dude, you are beings. This is how beautiful you are, that even when you're in a society, especially when you're in a culture that has robbed you of your rites of passage, you will try to recreate them in the modern world and try to get through all the fucking programming to give, especially children who need it most, the feeling like they are connected to something bigger than themselves and that it's important. That's what you are. That's what humanity is. Right? Not the bullshit they try to train us into where we are all one for themselves and fucking non-caring and like disconnected and just a fucking scourge to be eliminated like Bill Gates wants. Right? This is beautiful. This has happened since the coronavirus outbreak. Oh, come on. Where's the fucking pictures, you piece of shit? This fucking person, this beautiful fucking person. Yes, show me the pictures. Chad, you can't stop me, Chad. My NSA agent doesn't want us to see these pictures, but we're gonna fucking do it anyway. Maybe. Annoying. Anyway, Chad, not Chad. This guy, maybe Chad will be inspired by this and do it too, but this guy starts a fucking, like, free exchange on his porch where people can come and grab food or grab items or whatever they need and leave stuff if they have extras. And, like, this amidst people, like, seriously, I've heard people talking about, like, oh, the shit's gonna break down, you're gonna need your guns to keep people off your gardens and shit. And I'm like, or not, or we can all have this kind of an attitude and promote that, and that's what keeps people alive. And the more you have that present in any given location, the more other people will fucking resonate with it and go along with it. It's not like people are impossible to fucking work with. I wanted to see if the pictures were down here. No, of course they're not. So we can't see the pictures, but you get the idea. It's a beautiful thing. We could all do this. You can have a little space in your front yard or on your porch or wherever you want. It could be not even on your property if you'd like, where you just start the process. And you're just like, here's some free stuff, and like put up a little sign like he's got this fucking right here on his pallet that he's converted into a sign, and say, like, the whole point is take what you need and leave what you have. Gifting economies keep people going. Right? You're the type of people that even though you're trying to be fucking brought down with pure fear emanating at you from every angle 24 hours a day, you might go in your, of course it's not working. Of course it's not. Here we go. You might lean out your window or go onto your deck and
Look at that little ball.
When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
By the way, I hate that they tried to co-opt that by making people go out and, like, bang pots for nurses or whatever. I mean, bang pots for nurses if you want to, but, like, I think they're trying to take this energy that we're creating of helping each other get through the fear by reminding each other that we're just people and we're all still here together, you know, which is what singing does. Singing actually, when you do it in a group, it, like, synchronizes your breathing and your heart rate, which is a beautiful thing. There's a reason why we do singing together, and so this is like a sort of ancient, you know, part of us that we can connect with really easily and viscerally, despite all the fear programming. That's what we are. That's what humans are. Not a fucking virus. We're fucking beings of synchronization with one another through sound waves and energy waves. Right? And we saw the lady in fucking Paris or whatever. Oh, okay, that link's not gonna work, but she was singing too. It was beautiful. Well, this is the type of people we are. Bhutan's actually a really interesting place. It's one of the happiest places on the planet, despite that its citizens live in what we would call, like, abject poverty. But they have one of the highest happiness quotients of anywhere in the world, and it's because of shit like this. Their king, for his birthday, asked people to adopt animals, plants, and trees for his birthday, and that's a beautiful creation of a beautiful type of culture in this modern world, you know, where it's, like, not focused on materialism, it's focused on helping and caring for each other. And I don't know everything about Bhutan. I hope I don't find out that there's some, like, really fucked up shit there, but I still like their idea that you can live in the modern world in a different way that still honors community and taking care of one another. And that's what humanity is about to me, is that we can find that shit even through all of this bullshit that's being thrown at us, that we're being programmed with. That's a beautiful thing. Right? Because you're not a virus. In fact, you're a divine part of the fucking cosmos right here, right now. And you always have been. And remember, Desiderata tells us the truth. Right? I'll just read it to you in case you've never had the experience of reading Desiderata, because it's a beautiful thing. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Without surrender. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. Most important part right here, you have a right to be here. Don't let anyone fucking take it away from you. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations and the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. In 1927, that was written. Weren't good years for Max, I imagine. Max Ehrman, who wrote this. But he's right. All those things are good, but especially that last part, I'll read it one more time. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars, and you have a right to be here. You are not a virus. You are not bad for the planet. We have been conditioned to be things that we are not naturally. We have been taught to disconnect from nature and from each other. We've been taught and programmed to despair and be full of fear. We have been programmed to kill one another for other people's benefit. All of these things we've been conditioned to do, and none of them come from within us. None of them come from our soul. They all come from this, whatever this is that tries to convince us otherwise, whatever that force is. I call it evil. You can call it whatever you want. You're not a virus. In fact, you have the power to change all kinds of things in your world for good, because humanity is actually the cure to all this bullshit that they're programming us with. And we see humanity all around us when people fucking start free gift economies on their front porch. And when people sing to each other to remind each other that not all hope is lost, right? And when people pick up like dogs out of the road that are broken and take them home and nurture them or like, honor their country by adopting animals and taking care of them. Humanity is actually the cure. So don't let them convince you that there's anything else going on. Don't be like the motherfuckers who buy into the stupid political division and just fucking obsessively hate Trump. If you're gonna obsessively hate the whole government, not just Trump. Hate Obama too. Hate all of them. We take care of each other, and we always have. The way that people get through things like this virus and depressions and whatnot is by taking care of each other and by reconnecting with that very shit that makes us human, with our humanity. We're never ever gonna make it through alone. We're disconnected. It's like we are each other's actual immune system in connection with each other, like a network. And when enough of us start believing that we are the virus and believing that it is good and true to, that humans should be taken off the face of the earth because the earth will be good without us, it's bullshit. We're actually an intimate part of the earth itself as a being. If you think about that deeply enough, you realize like we are the earth's consciousness expressed, like we're not just here by accident. It's not like we like got thrown at the earth by like a salt shaker of virus and we infected it. Like we developed here. We're made out of fucking dirt and shit, like, and stars or whatever. But like, we didn't just appear out of nowhere, and we didn't come here to kill the fucking planet, and we wouldn't have ever gotten this close to doing so if that could be done without all of this manipulation over thousands of years. Without being trained to fucking harm each other and being convinced that we are worthless pieces of garbage. That fucking phrase on that thing, you are not necessary. Like, what a fucked up thing to tell somebody, especially in this time of fucking strife and mental health crisis, to tell someone that they're not necessary. It's fucked up. Go tell the fucking, like, rulers that. Go tell the elite that. That's who needs to hear that. Like, you are the fucking virus. You are the fucking parasite. You are the reason, if the planet is dying, that it would die. But it can't, because you're a piece of shit and your fucking hubris is bullshit. Your shit falls apart. Even the shit that you mean to fucking pull off actually ends up helping us in the end, so... I'm not scared. Their shit is done. It's tired. So many people see through it now, and it's so awesome. I guess when they announced that, vaccine shit in Canada today, that like shit's not gonna go back to normal until you all get your vaccine, I guess a bunch of people were like, how fucking transparent. Like, it's not like there's all these cures, right? We have hydroxychloroquine, we have vitamin C intravenously, but we're not allowed to do that for some reason, even though there's no fucking negative side effects possible and it's fucking curing people. Somehow we're not allowed to, but really they care about us. Like, even though we have all of that, even though there's this guy, scientist has found a way to fucking cure it without a vaccine as well. It's like an antibody related cure that I don't understand, but you know, it's been on a couple news stations, but not most, because they don't want you to know that it exists. Even though Germany has found out that almost everyone has already fucking come in contact and already is immune, even despite all of that, we're supposed to somehow buy that we can't go back to normal until there's a vaccine. Like, people see through that shit. People are starting to see through that shit, and that is hopeful. And there is a lot of reason to hope, because we do have our humanity still intact, and they have not yet. If their plans were going according to what they want, then we would already be destroyed and utterly devoid of any hope at all. And we would already be just like 100% of us would be like, yep, give me the vaccine, and we'd all be fucking snitching on our neighbors, and we're not. A lot of us aren't. A lot of us are resisting all of that, because humanity is actually our strongest fucking... But I don't remember the word that I was going to use. But you know what I'm saying. Humanity is actually our strongest weapon against them. You know? Like, that's the reason why we've survived through all their shit over thousands of years, is because we still have that intact. We're still connected to our hearts, and you can't actually take that away from us. Unless we give it away, which you're not going to do, and I'm not going to do. Because we are the last defense against the true virus, and the true virus is them. Their fucking parasitical bullshit, their psychopathical parasitical system that we've been forced into for thousands and thousands of fucking years, destroying all our connections to what's real and natural within ourselves as they went. We are the fucking cure for that. We're the last defense against their shit. And, well, it'll work. We're good. Our immune systems are healthy in connection with each other. We don't ever want to give in. We don't ever want to hate ourselves. We don't ever want to buy into their line that we are bad for the planet. We're not. We only are if we follow along their little merry path of bullshit. So I'm going to say what's up to the people in the chat again. Vaccines do contradict their millions of years of evolution. If we're evolving this whole time, then we would evolve in order to destroy all viruses, and we would continue evolving by letting ourselves encounter viruses naturally and develop our natural responses to them. I hate that shit. Like, we survived fucking for how long without a fucking vaccine, but now we're like, never gonna make it without it. It's like ridiculous that people buy this shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. But again, it's not their fault. We have been trained. We have been conditioned. And we have been held back and repressed. Everyone here is extremely necessary. Everyone who will ever hear this is extremely necessary. If you have any doubts about your worth, those aren't coming from you. Those are coming from outside of you, and they're all false, and they're all bullshit. You are absolutely necessary. You came here for a fucking reason. You wanted to be here in this time. There's something here that you can do that is good and valuable, and you've already been doing it. And you can't stop doing it. If you're just here and alive, you're doing it. Right? Strive to be happy, but don't ignore your bad shit either. I had a bad day. I got mad at a friend for no reason and was kind of mean, and luckily people love me enough to put up with my bullshit, and they accepted my apology, and that's nice. You know, shit gets to me sometimes, and if we ignore it and we don't process it or go through it or, you know, work with the people who unfortunately have to deal with our shit, then it just stays. It comes back stronger the next time, and it becomes even harder to deal with. So I'm a big fan of, like, admitting when you're sad or mad or any of the things are getting to you, and feeling it and letting it out. And, like, again, I've said it before, I'll say it a billion more times, like, go give that shit to the earth, whether you, like, have a yard you can go sit in, or just like a tree. If you're walking down the street, you see a tree, you can even just touch it for a little minute and like put it all into the tree. Trees can take it. You can let that shit out. It doesn't harm them. But yeah, you're necessary here. You're necessary here. Even Chad, even my little NSA agent, he's necessary too. I love imagining that there's an NSA agent that has to listen to all of my shit. It's gonna infect them, and they're gonna be like, maybe I do have a heart. Maybe I can be good. You can. Anyone can. Gnosis Gnome 7 says, our community has grown so much since 9/11. Truly, right? After 9/11, it was scary to be someone on the truth, like, vibe, or whatever you want to call it, for a while. Like, it was scary. People were, I don't know if you can remember, put yourself back there, but like, questioning anything made you an enemy. I had a bumper sticker that said, wake up, America. Because I forget what it said before I changed it, but it was some propaganda shit. It was like, come together, America, or something like that, and I changed it to wake up, America. And I was even scared to have that on my vehicle, because I was like, someone's gonna fucking like stab my tires and call me a terrorist. So it was pretty scary, but it's interesting. As much as it's grown and more people were questioning more things, which is awesome to see. Like I was saying earlier, there's just as many people who used to, like, even at 9/11 and thereafter, question shit, and they're not now. Now they're like begging for vaccines and turning in people for sitting at park benches. So it's kind of crazy. I don't know how to even explain it. But that's why I go to the, like, maybe that EMF bullshit really is affecting people more than you think, or something. Or maybe they just got worn down over time. Maybe it got too intense. It's been pretty intense for a number of years now, all the shit they're pulling, and right now is really, really intense. So I mean, maybe it's just the way that they're handling all of that progression, but very interesting, very Stockholm syndrome-y. Very Stockholm syndrome-y. Like, I love my oppressor, I will do whatever they say, they're the best. But yes, trees will give you something back if you go hug them. I promise you. Man, you can sit down and fucking talk to a tree. If you don't know that, you can. You try it out. I dare you. I was thinking earlier today about how God, or whatever you want to call it, is like literally always talking to you. Constantly. And you just have to get quiet enough to listen and to trust that you actually can hear that and interpret it. And you can. So if you ever feel alone and you actually can't connect with another human for some reason, like, that shit never leaves. That's always there for you. But I just want you guys to remember that you are a divine part of the cosmos. You have a right to be here. Desderata didn't lie. Max didn't lie. He's right. You came here for a reason. You have a right to be here. Don't let anyone convince you that you're a virus. Go out and spread the message that humanity is not a virus. Beyond that, just like the last picture we saw said, good Christ, humanity is actually the cure. Spread that message. Don't just stick to what it's not. Just remember what it is. Our humanity is the cure. People are kind of freaking out. They're like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? You do the same now as you ever have. You take care of yourself to the best of your ability. You stay connected with people to the best of your ability. You have boundaries, just like Desderata said. There's you don't give in. You don't let people take away your rights or your shit. But there's no reason to go out and fucking freak out about it publicly. You know, you're just gonna freak other people out. If you want to go out and change what's happening in a way that, like, is more physical and direct, you go out and fucking talk to people. Just smile at them and talk to them. Don't overwhelm them with scary bullshit. They're already overwhelmed with scary bullshit. That's not gonna help anybody. You know, especially if you don't have, like, a direct plan of action to offer them directly after you frighten the fuck out of them. That's not going to be a good thing for you. It might feel good to you to, like, let some of your angst out, but it's not helpful. If you want to go out and you want to affect people, you go out and you talk to them and you smile at them and you fucking... And eventually, if you feel like it will not damage them to do so, you can bring up some of these ideas, and that's a beautiful thing. But that's how you change the world, is you stay connected with people and you meet them exactly where they are at. And you do not force them into anything else but where they're at. You meet them where they're at, and then out of love, if you can present another idea to them that they might need, then you do so. That's what you can do to change the world, is you can continue changing yourself for the best, Remember, if you want to save all of the world, you save all of yourself. There's still stuff left for you to save of yourself, I promise. And you stay connected. And you know, help people the best you can. That's how you get through shit like this, in my professional opinion. So I just don't want you to forget that. I want you to really, 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 really focus on, like I said, don't just focus on not being the virus. Focus on remembering that humanity is the cure. It's literal and it's true. What's in your heart is the cure. This only has all been allowed to happen because people have gone along with it because they believed that they deserved it. Like that Stockholm Syndrome bullshit. Or because they believe that it's the best thing to do. And so the only way to fix all of that is to remember that we're better off sticking with our true humanity and each other than subscribing to all their evil programmed bullshit. So never, ever, ever, ever give up on that front. Always keep your heart open and flowing and able to connect with other people, especially in a time of fear, and especially if the fear ramps up or gets worse. And keep the faith. Be well and keep the faith. And until you can always be in connection with other people to your best ability, keep yourself grounded and true to your own humanity, always broadcasting that out to remind other people of their humanity and build that network of humanity and love. Travel well, aim for balance, and always look inside first. Mwah.
It's a one-on-one lesson, so do your homework. Make your dome hurt while up on earth. My bones are blessed from holy dirt. Vibes manifested to words that told me search for verbs and adjectives to describe birth. Worth more than one can speak, while the tongue beats a weak, a sour taste in your mouth, bittersweet. Words can also kill you when you sleep. Mind condition, low frequencies while the subconscious mind listens. I can tell a vision filled with lies, disguised as truth, and spread it like the word to the youth. Watch the tube. A place where the God gets food is sorcery. To recreate the God forgery does more than meets the eye. Not too many know. Just hear me flow like the eye of Horus Henio. Yeah, not ready to leave until we believe we're free to go. You hear me? Go.
Sculpted from the ether, the material will eat ya. Stuck on this plane, lanes use jet fuel to greet ya. The dimensional three ain't meeting me on top of the fourth. Didn't climb Jacob's ladder to squab with a sword. Forged with Yggdrasil, branched down, try quiet your lamps now. Ascension past the matter that they slam out they damn mouths. We ain't on land now, but they over understand. Sacrificing wisdom, hoarding dumber, kosher, wicked hands. Putting faith in worthless worship of the mortals. Artificial portals, mass ingestion of the black goo, bioengineered morsels. Conversing with machine elves, bypassing maggots. They stuck on Android screens now. I'm scrolling emerald tablets. Moloch living lavish, off the backs of the savage. Them clasped hands at the Sabbath, smack 'em energy damage. They done twisted the tongues, but nanotech in the lungs. The awakening's begun. All they really can do is fucking run.